1, 2, 3. Hi, Mom! Nice.
Hi everyone, welcome to a very special edition to the beer vlog. You're about to watch a very long video that's much more entertaining than the last one because apparently the last one was very boring. I agree with you. It's all about the making of this beer I have in my hand, which is my very first beer, Analog Ale.
There we go. Hi, Mom.
Welcome to Dog Hair Brewing. Dog Hair Brewing.
Yeah. So, my system is a 5-gallon system. Here will be the mash where grain goes into a certain temperature water. We're aiming for 178, somewhere above 175, just only slightly. Because when we add the grain, it will drop 20 degrees. That's the temperature we're aiming for. After that 20 degrees, that's where the grain will be in that heat, letting out all its starchy, sugary goodness. But we've only had enough water to do that. So over here is the hot liquor tank. We're going to wash it from the top down, along with the water that's already in there, into the boil, which is also going to be that tank. This is all gravity driven. Whereas bigger breweries run this kind of system with big Mondo pumps that draw from enormous vats and can't go airbound, otherwise they explode. Then we're going to be washing through there, creating 5 gallons, or about. It's the first beer. I'm not going to be precise. Then it's in that tank again, but as baby beer. So then it'll be back here on this burner, because this one's the best burner. And there it'll go to a boil, like straight to it. As much temperature as we can throw at it. We're not concerned how fast it gets there, just boil. Once it's immediately at a nice rolling boil, starts the clock. We're gonna do a half an hour, bigger batches do about an hour. Dave and I do an hour. Towards the end, I have these cool little directions. This is high tech. There's 3 ounces. Immediately when we notice it's a boil, 3 ounces of Simcoe go in there. Inside of the hop is the little resin balls and stuff like that. We'll get into more of that later. So here's the beginning. Cheers. This should be beer, but because this is the only vessel in the house we could use to measure gallons in, we had to pour us some milk.
Strong bones.
Mama said drink your milk. After it goes to a boil and it does all this cool little ingredients and stuff like that, it's at 220 degrees. Yeast will not survive very long in that. Neither would humans. So it was just kind of how you view yeast. It's alive. That guy goes in there. Copper tubing with a garden hose attachment. Garden hose water comes out about 60, 70 degrees, lower even. 60, 55-ish.
Well water.
It goes straight down in there with, it just spits water out that's coming through the coils. And since it's copper, it's going to transfer heat like crazy, and in about 20 minutes we'll be down to 55, 60 degrees. Then it's down to that temperature. It can be transferred into the carboy, which is sanitized. It needs to be sanitized. Baby beer is perfect for living in. It's got sugars. We want to grow alcohol.
Beer. No.
All we want surviving inside of there is yeast that we will add, not nature. And actually, the first beers, were just this kind of process, boiling it and all that stuff, and separating it and just leaving it outside, because there's wild yeasts that will naturally find it and get going. I don't know that it was a pressure vessel or not. This is not a pressure vessel. Mom, you think I'm gonna blow up and stuff like this? This is as dangerous as we're going to get right now. Boiling water near our feet.
While drinking beer.
Ooh, actually, yeah. And I'm wearing a kilt, but it's cool. I'm wearing boxers this time. And he's wearing footies. And a hat. Show him the hat.
Show him the hat.
Excellent hat. Relax, don't worry, have a milk. In the book it says, relax, don't worry, have a homebrew. One day I might make millions and millions of dollars off of my YouTube video. Oh, and the dog hair brewing bit comes because everything
Covered in dog hair.
Everything in this house will have dog hair associated with it. Dinner, taking a shower, doing laundry,
Putting your shoes on.
getting home from work, getting in the car,
Jumping off the deck. We don't do that.
rolling around at the end of the driveway. Everything has dog hair. I'm shooting for a super sweet something so that the hops and bay leaf will add the bitterness and counteract it, but it's still gonna have tons of body. So I have a 1.5 pounds of Munich, 5 pounds of Crystal 30. Crystal 30 is just a fancy way of saying it's really caramely, because Crystal, 8.5 pounds of two-row. Two-row is your basics. Like, it will do beer. It will do any beer. It's two-row. It's like baseline. But you can make things too complicated when you use things other than two-row, like 6-row or some Bavarian Munich grown, spit in by a native woman mash.
Making beer?
Not yet. Making hot water. Yeah.
Something seems wrong here.
There's no beer.
Yeah.
We don't have any beer in the house.
Okay, I'm going to the store.
Coming up to temperature. It's coming. Oh, fogging the camera lens. So that's a temperature. That's almost a temperature. That's a Rowdy Dog. That's a Leo Dog. That's a Alex Rolando Bloom. So I have my grain in. Did not have a lot of balls. I did not
We get a refund.
do a test yet, and we get a refund.
I didn't know you were on here.
He's on air.
That's okay. I've learned to edit. We'll be all right.
We need a blinking red sign that says on air.
Blinking red sign that says, shut the fuck up.
So I figure we'll go for about 20 minutes in
They
here.
have my name on there first,
At
so
temperature, we got a good temperature. I checked it, and we were at 158 high. That's okay. That means we're gonna soak up all that sugars, and beer will have more body. What did she just say to me? Are we recording? Oh, we're recording.
Okay, so we're at about 20 minutes on the mashing. We have hot liquor around the same temperature as what we had before the grain went to that. So up around 180. That way it acts just like the other water.
I believe this is half and half.
Here I am taking some of the liquid.
So what happens if it... What is this supposed to do?
Okay, so this should change, not at all. And you saw that little bit of color change, right?
Yeah, it was
that
like greenish gray.
Yeah, that like gray. That means it killed stuff. It could just be that this plate isn't that sanitary.
That looks pretty good.
Okay, I trust you.
Still recording?
I'm trusted.
You are recording. Here's another thing I haven't run into yet. Whether or not this grain is going to clog the transfer. If it does, I'm going to be kinking this hose off and blowing through it.
What are you going to be doing to the hose?
Blowing
Kink
in it.
Kink it and blow it.
Kink it and blow it. Okay.
You're gonna blow it hard.
Here we go. Wait. Oh, I cut that hose and I didn't need to. I need this one cut.
You're cutting what?
A hose.
Cutting hose?
You know, you just don't win when you buy cheap hose. Quote Dave Lambert. Good advice. Kids, don't buy cheap hose. Okay. now
And
this
so-
side.
That hot water is being fed into the mash at the same time that the mash is being fed into the bottom.
Doesn't necessarily have to be at the same time. It's just adding water to replace water that is leaving. That
Is that fetus beer?
is fetus beer.
Fetus beer.
Problem.
Thinking you might need the bucket higher.
Need
Unless you can get
this
it started
lower.
flowing.
Wait, it's going. It's going.
You just gotta
Go.
siphon it.
Go. Go. There.
Oh yeah, there we
It's
go.
like getting gas. You just gotta get it over that bump. I've had to siphon gas out of gas tanks a couple times.
Oh.
Interesting.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay, not on camera. See, you can see it in there, nomming up all the foamy goodness and little bits and leftovers, and
going
it's going
from there?
through. It's going through the grain, the
there?
bed of grain, so it's acting as a filter.
And then.
We want this at around 5 gallons. We don't have to worry too much about contaminations right now because we're about to boil the shit out of this. These poor people are so jealous right now. Whoever's gonna watch this will be like, oh, I want to smell it.
And they want to taste it. So bad.
Probably not right now.
I'm a voodoo child. Spider. Check it out.
What? Hey. There be the finished mash, the spent grain. It is all transferred, including most of what was in the hot liquor tank, rinsed and stolen the goodness and converted it and brought it over to here where we are bringing to a boil. Let's do a little something and we can taste the baby beer. So this is the end of it. Pretty clear. Yeah, it's pretty light. There's like nothing in there. But that was the end. Maybe there's a ton more in there. I don't know. Want to taste it?
Sure. It's like grain water.
It's like what?
Grain water.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Pretty similar there.
Comparable.
Megan Anstein, would you like to taste baby beer? Oh, I keep doing that on camera. There'll be a full episode of me just doing this. You wouldn't watch a beer vlog unless you were 21 able to drink. So,
What if you just want to make beer?
well, if you're under 21 and you want to make beer, it's never going to be that much fun.
A lot sweet. A lot more sweet. A lot more sweeter. Sweeter? More sweeter?
There's going to be a lot of bloopers. I did not sleep well this morning. That makes me want to listen to girl talk. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way. Oh, sanitize. Here's my bucket of sanitation. Whole bunch of iodine, whole bunch of hot water. Oh, no, not rowdy. Oh, my camera thing's moving. We are at a boil. Beautiful rolling boil. So now we are ready to add 3 ounces of Simcoe hops. That, if you look on my Facebook page, you will have seen me at the hop farm harvesting these from the drying bed directly. No processing, no whatnot. These are fresh hops. And here they go. Beautiful little hoppies. Oh no. Oh, I've done it again. The lens very fogged up. You should never clean a lens with your finger. Here we are. I'm gonna boil for an hour toward the very end at 5 minutes till. Some more Simcoe hops, as well as an ingredient to be shown. Now, these hops going in now, Simcoe, based on a chart I've seen in this book here, wonderful book, they have a high alpha, but don't impart a lot of bitterness. Alpha is the amount of bitterness that will go from the hop into the beer. A high alpha, but they say it doesn't impart a lot of bitterness, so I guess I'm trying to cover that by boiling them early and keeping from a lot of bitterness. I don't like super bitter, hoppy, chewy beer. I don't need a rattlesnake. There's a picture of that. I'll put it in here. But I do want some of the aroma and taste coming from the hops. So that's where those second edition comes in. And this special thing, I'm just giving it a shot. I highly doubt that you can see, but the secret ingredient is in. There's some bay leaves in there and the rest of the Simcoe. And now we're gonna cool and add to the fermenter. That's the first batch.
You can Alex too.
Nope. Done. Original gravity 1.050. Oh, that's just a baby. What was it? Irish ale 1084 went into this. Should come out ambery. Didn't start the yeast early enough. The wort tasted really, really bitter. We have life! Should be, yep, little bubbles. Oh, I hope I did that right. It's kind of cloudy. Looks like the yeast came alive. So now it will sit in this carboy for a week. And after a week I will transfer it to a 5-gallon where it will probably fill the whole dang thing up. But then it'll free this up for another beer.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Okay. I'm scared. I don't know if it's gonna taste good. Here, pour your beer. Mm-hmm.
Smells like beer.
Yep, that's the amber red I wanted. Does it smell like bay leaves?
It kind of does. Yeah, that's what I'm smelling actually, I think.
Okay.
Maybe. I might just be making that up. Alright.
It's supposed to.
You wanna cheers to the first beer?
To Analog Ale.
To
the first beer of
Dog Hair Brewing.
Dog Hair Brewing. It's a bitter.
It's definitely a bitter.
It's definitely a bitter.
It's not bad.
It isn't bad.
I kind of half expected worse, I'm not gonna lie.
Ditto, actually.
I'll drink it.
It's really bitter.
It's got a clean taste though.
But it's a bitter made bitter with bay leaves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant!
Questions and comments are welcome. Thank you very much for watching. Love you lots, Mom.